by Hezbollah had flown over Israel for 40 minutes. And after Israeli warplanes were flying over the Lebanese capital. Do you see an upcoming war?
You know, UNIFIL is based on the resolution. The resolution is called the 1701 and approved in August 2006 after the war. And we count and we consider all the violations. Events like this one is not new, and even if the Lebanon and the south of Lebanon, where we are working in, okay. So I say that even you know that the area operation is very limited in where we are working. So from the Litani River to the Blue Line, but violations of means that cross the blue line, so we count as a violation. And so the important thing is that we apply immediately our mechanism. It's called liaison mechanism. So as you know, we have our liaison team that are working both sides of the blue line. And I'm direct in contact from myself and my organization from both sides, so I mean, with the Israeli Defense Forces and the Lebanese Armed Forces. In events like this one, but also in the event of fire that happened on the month of, the recent one, in the month of May and July last year, and August last year, we immediately keep in contact with the parties. The reason why is because we have to de-escalate immediately the situation. That is very important because we channel messages and then it's for the focus to de-escalate the situation. And that's exactly what happened.
Do you see any escalation or no? You succeed in de-escalate this?
I mean, from 2006 till now, I think the south of Lebanon is just living a relative calm, and so let me say that we have to thank UNIFIL because we are maintaining at least the situation stable. That is the work that the peacekeepers has to do, to create an environment that could be conducive of discussion with the political party or the diplomatic party. It's not our job, because our job is to maintain the situation stable. And that's exactly what happened since 2006.
So, General, do you foresee a danger of war in southern Lebanon in light of the tension in the region?
I mean, the situation in the Middle East is always influenced by the global situation. What happened in Syria, what happened in Israel, what happened in all around the Middle East. The important is the way that we are dealing with the parties, because a misinterpretation or increase of the tension is close to the corner, and for us, because we have to follow the mandate, we have to follow the resolution. The resolution is very clear in 2006, and following what is the tasks come from the resolution, we are able till now to reduce the tension and remain in a situation that, let me say, is almost stable.
General, you will leave our country in a week, I think. What will you miss the most in the south and Lebanon?
Well, this is not my first time in Lebanon. I came over here at the end of 2007. I've been living on the 10th for 6-7 months in a small village. It's called Marake. And then I come over here in 2014-15 when I commanded Sector West, and then I took over the responsibility of the mission in 2018. So after 3 years and 7 months, I'm going to leave Lebanon. But I consider myself, or I consider Lebanon part of my home, because even if I'm far away from home, but I'm very comfortable in Lebanon, to leave Lebanon. Well, the feeling is, it's emotional, because I'm leaving Lebanon in a situation that is quite critical for the economic point of view, for the social point of view. And I do hope that the Lebanon will find a solution in the near future, for the benefit of the citizens of Lebanon, because they need stability, they need to live their life in a secure way, in a proper way. But this is the responsibility at the political level. So we, as a peacekeepers, in peacekeeper from 46 different countries, with 10,500 soldiers and sailors that we have in UNIFIL, and we shouldn't forget also that we have 900 civilians, most of them Lebanese, coming from most part of them from south, but also from other part of Lebanon. So we are, even if we are working independently for the party, but we are living in Lebanon. And my feeling is that to live part of my life, so I consider Lebanon as my second home.
General, what are the most difficult pitfalls you have experienced in the past 3 years in terms of maintaining the mandate of UNSCR 1701? Have you think reached in some incidents the risk of a complete deterioration?
South of Lebanon has faced a few incidents since 2006. But with the presence of UNIFIL, so the situation didn't exacerbate in a conflict. We have in the past 3 years and 7 months, I deal with the tunnels, for example, in 2018, from December to January 2018-19. That was a serious event, especially to consider the consequence at the political level on both sides of the blue line. And then a launch of anti-tank missile, launch of rockets, return fire, the Israeli violation of the Lebanese airspace. So violations that could occur many different times. And one of the serious, as I say, the political level was the discovery of the tunnels and the launch of the operation in Israel in December 2018. But from my experience, the event that is still, in my heart is the Beirut blast explosion, 2020. That not only because we have a ship that was docking in the port with the 32 peacekeepers were injured, but also because we took part as UNIFIL in helping the Lebanese armed forces for clean the port area, the roads in Ashafia, the building of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So we touch with our hands the disruption and the incredible consequence of the Beirut blast.
Where were you during the blast?
Pardon?
Where were you during the blast of Beirut port?
I mean, that is the so at that time, so we were in Nakura, and then we used helicopter immediately. We moved the helicopter from Nakura to the airport in order to help as our instrument, our capabilities, the situation. We went immediately, our team went immediately on the port, so it was not easy. But so we, unfortunately, many people were killed, unfortunately, and that it is incredible. And let me say, the hard myself also that what happened at that time.
Generally, we have always this question. Will there be a change in the rules of engagement in South Lebanon? It has been reported that UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres alluded to this during his recent visit to Lebanon.
My Secretary General went here in Lebanon with 3 days a trip and visited Lebanon in December, and also we had the opportunity also to host the Secretary General in the South in Nakura, and it was a very important visit also because he also praised the value, the great value to having the peacekeepers on the South and the work that UNIFIL doing to maintain the situation calm in that area of operation, in this area of operation. The Secretary General also he mentioned the incident that occurred along the Blue Line, and also the role of the Security Council in dealing the situation that occurred in the past years. So the Security Council approved the extension of mandate, UNIFIL mandate, every year on the month of August. So this is a pure political discussion inside the Security Council, and the instrument the Security Council has in their hand is the resolutions. And every year, at the end of the month of August, the Security Council approved a resolution that not only extended the mandate of UNIFIL, but also they added the certain paragraph, especially from 2017, 18, and the past years. So, to give an example, in 2020 we were allowed to work for the first time on the history of UNIFIL outside their operation when we did deploying in the port of Beirut, and also last year, with a specific paragraph, they asked us to help the Lebanese armed forces on the south with our resources. I'm talking about deliver food, medicine, diesel, and to help the Lebanese armed forces in dealing with the crisis. In 2017 also, we were asked to be more present in the south, to conduct more activities. And that's the reason why also my predecessor increased the number of activities on the south. And the reason why is because it's written in the resolution. The resolution is that you have to consider as the way that the Security Council asked the mission to deal with the mandate. And we have to transform the resolution in tasks that have to be performed by the mission. We know perfectly that both sides, in Israel and Lebanon, they consider the resolution and they tailor what is inside the resolution for their political view. But UNIFIL is working independent from the party and in a transparent manner. So I mean, we have only the responsibility to accomplish what is written in the resolution, and the party to agree with the resolution. That till now, let me say that we are working very close to the parties, and the evidence is that the situation remains stable.
You mean that both parties don't want any change of the rule of engagement? We can say that?
Well, I say that it is the pure responsibility of the Security Council at the political level, the political discussion. So we cannot interfere in this discussion. It is up to them and to consider what the peacekeeping mission around the world, I'm not talking about UNIFIL, all of the other peacekeeping missions, what they have or what they can or what they cannot do. And then also we have to remember that the resolution is on request of the government of Lebanon. Also the 1701, the first one. Also government of Lebanon requested the presence of the Maritime Task Force in 2006 to control the territorial water, the Lebanese territorial water. And every year, in the month of August, Lebanon asked the Security Council to renew the mandate of UNIFIL.
You were in New York recently.
Yeah.
What was your impression on 1701, UNIFIL role?
Let me say that the Security Council also praised the value of UNIFIL. Because UNIFIL is a peacekeeping mission that is able, with the collaboration of the parties, to deliver the mandate in a proper way. So all of the countries that is a Security Council, I was present in the discussion. Technically speaking, it's closed in closed section every 4 months. When the Security Council receive a report from the Secretary General on the implementation of 1701, I was present in the last one, and all of the member states were happy, and they thanks UNIFIL for the job that they've done.
Since the deployment of the enhanced UNIFIL, there has been stability in southern Lebanon. However, there are some issues that are still presented as if there are no solutions to them, such as the demarcation of the blue line, the UN peacekeepers' freedom of movement, the kidnapping of shepherds, the Israeli violations, the vague relationship between UNIFIL and local population, and the issue of Green Without Borders Association. Why?
You see, deliver the mandate sometimes is not easy. It's not easy because we need the collaboration of the parties, especially during when we conduct our investigation. The investigation is mandatory for us to ascertain the facts of what happened during the incidents, when the incident occurred. And then the reason why immediately after we ask the collaboration of the parties to allow us to work and to understand exactly what happened, the reason why, how to deal with the incident like that. As you mentioned, from 2006 till now, we have a few incidents across the blue line or inside the air operation. Regarding UNIFIL, we are working closely with all of the municipalities, more than 140 municipalities that are in our air operation. We are very close to the municipality, with the mayors, the Mukhtar, the Kaimakans, the governors. We are working with the citizens of the south of Lebanon, and in a different way, because we develop a quick impact project, so we use UN resources to conduct a project with the Baladia. So we are working, UNIFIL works in bilateral way with the two contributing countries that are helping the CIMIC activity, the municipalities, and we do that not considering any difference from one municipality and the other one. So when we suffer a few events, like we say technically, the impossibility for us to deliver the mandate in the proper way, means that we are in front of a single person or a group of a small group of citizens, and if they commit crime, they have to be accountable of the crime that they commit. That happens all around the world. If you destroy one car, you are accountable for that. If you are, if you say that in the personal item, you are accountable. So that is what the UN asks, what UNIFIL is asking, that those people that commit crime have to be accountable. But this doesn't mean that we are not happy to work with the municipalities.
But why some incidents happen with some countries not all the battalions are have problem.
No, we have let me say that the UNIFIL is an integral and monolithic mission. We have not considered one country another one. All of them are peacekeepers and are the same. So we didn't face or there is a citizen against one specific country, because it can happen with all of the 46 different countries, but it is not important. The important is that we consider all the countries as peacekeepers. So that is that what UNIFIL is working.
General, what about the investigations into the two incidents in Chakra and Ramsey and the throwing of stones by some people at the Finnish battalion, and the other battalion is from Ghana, I think, Finland and Ghana.
It's the UNIFIL peacekeepers,
Yes.
as I say.
What has happened? Does this have anything to do with the messages of Mr. Guterres about the South?
Yeah, events like this is not new in the history of UNIFIL.
About the LLF, your coordination with the LLF?
Yeah, we have it's not new that we suffer as a UNIFIL few incidents that come from 2006, or maybe before, from 1978 to 2006. The important that who is committed crimes like that has to be accountable. That is important. So we ask the government of Lebanon to investigate in a proper way and to ascertain the fact and prosecute who committed the crimes. So it's not a matter of villagers, it's not a matter of citizens, it's not a matter of peacekeepers of the country. It's only crimes. Crimes has to be, they have to be, the people who commit crimes have to be accountable. So the Secretary General, he also mentioned when he was here that it's not acceptable at all that the peacekeepers are suffering of incident like that. And also the Security Council, through the resolution, asked that the peacekeepers and UNIFIL has to be able to deliver the mandate. First, because we are here on the request of the government of Lebanon. Second, because it's a Security Council that approved this mission, and we are here for Lebanon.
Was the LLF
the Lebanese armed forces, we call them our strategic partner. And we are in great cooperation with the Lebanese armed forces. We are working every day with them. We train them. We are in part of the strategic dialogue, so to increase the LAF capability as a whole. Thanks to the Security Council, also now we are helping the Lebanese armed forces on the south with their request of the basic needs. We are creating an environment that is conducive of a more stability on the south. So but the Lebanese armed forces is a part of the Lebanese society. So in the political crisis and the economic crisis affect also the Lebanese armed forces. So the number of activities, we do hope that the LAF will be able to increase the number of activities with us.
General, concerning the Maritime Border, the United Nations hosts the Maritime Border negotiation meetings. I know you will tell me that UNIFIL only hosts these meetings because I already asked you that before. But isn't there a certain impression about a possible role that UNIFIL could play in demarcating the maritime border line as well? What can you tell us about Mr. Hochstein's recent visit? Could the upcoming and direct negotiations be under the auspices of the United Nations only?
You know that the maritime borders is. We have, as a UNIFIL, we have the logistic responsibility to organize the meeting. We are not a part of the discussion. It's under the U.S. mediator to deal with the parties and to find an agreement with the support, political support of UNSCOL and logistic support of UNIFIL. I do hope, for the benefit of both parties, the parties will be able to sign an agreement as soon as possible.
يعني could the upcoming indirect negotiations be under the auspices of the United Nations only or no?
Well, if the meetings occur in our UN position, yes, we are hosting the negotiation. The negotiation.
I mean, without the American.
It's the U.S. mediator that is dealing with the party.
He will stay as a mediator.
U.S. is the negotiator, is not UNIFIL or UN.
Will there be a correlation between the demarcation of the land and maritime borders?
Well, for the blue line is different because the blue line is not a border. Blue line is a technical line. It was drawn by the UN in 2000 when the Israeli decided to withdraw from south of Lebanon after 1982 when they occupied the south of Lebanon.
How many points they are not demarcated till now?
Yeah, in 2000 the line was drawn by the UN and the parties. We shouldn't forget that the parties that were in the team. Consider two areas, the border between Lebanon and Israel, with a reference of all the line signed in 1948-49, and another one in 1923, and the border between Lebanon and Syria that is occupied Golan right now. So in 2006, after the war, UNIFIL started with the party to mark the blue line. And marking the blue line, the Lebanon asked that 13 areas should be discussed because the territory that is technically speaking is in the south part of the blue line, so in the Israel, Lebanon is claiming as a Lebanese territory. So when I took over the responsibility of the mission, I asked the parties to deal with this discussion and to allow me to deal with the party and to find a solution in the 13 areas. My predecessor in 2017 did that, and in 2018 the informal discussion was suspended, and I do hope that in a future we'll start again as the Security Council asked to do.
Concerning the correlation between the demarcation of the land and maritime borders?
The correlation is that Israel is considered two different discussions. Maritime is under U.S. is international law. Blue line is a technical line because is without any prejudice of further agreement. Further agreement means a peace process, means a peace agreement. So in a future, the end state of the resolution is a peace process. So it means that transform the blue line in a future in a proper border between Lebanon and Israel. In the Lebanese side, it's the link the two discussions, but in sequence. So meaning that the maritime and then afterwards the blue line. What I ask is to conduct the activity in parallel. So mean that the discussion will take place under the responsibility of the U.S. and the blue line under responsibility of UNIFIL to conduct in parallel, not in the sequence. So we will see in the future.
General, what can you tell us about UNIFIL's Maritime Task Force, MTF, and its role? LAF's model regime and the issue of towers that was once written about it in the Lebanese media that will be built to make up for the shortage of UNIFIL personnel.
So we are our Maritime Task Force that now is composed by 5 different countries with under the leadership of Germany. We have the responsibility to hail the ship. Well, we cannot investigate directly the ship, the commercial ship that get inside the ports, the Lebanese ports. Only the Lebanese authority has this responsibility, retain this responsibility. So we are working closely with the LAF Navy, so meaning that our maritime task force, they are training the LAF Navy, and we are patrolling in close cooperation with the LAF Navy. But when we hail the commercial ship, who is approved, who is taking the responsibility to approve or to inspect the ship, remain inside the Lebanese authorities.
General, my last question, you said that you don't foresee any danger in war of the southern Lebanon, no?
I do hope.
What about a civil war? Do you have any fears of a civil war in Lebanon?
Well, civil war, well, I think that 1975 is far away from here. If Lebanon want to make a progress in the future, I think the bad situation that happens since 1975 should remain in the past and not in the future. So my wish is that Lebanon will think of the future and not the past, and think to make progress inside Lebanon. But it's a political discussion. I don't want to get inside that. This is not my responsibility. And with the parties, so means also with Israel, that my wish is written in the resolution. So in the future, I do hope that when I will come over here in a future as a civilian, to do not find any peacekeepers on the south, so that the UNIFIL will disappear from the south. So means that there is no necessity to have to maintain a peacekeeping mission in the south with the 10,500 soldiers, because there is no any need to have a peacekeeping mission. So means that the peace process is going on.
Thank you, General Del Col, and you will be missed in Beirut.
Shukran.